Hey, we're going to be talking about aluminum foils. I'm in essential oils, so stick around. Hey, what's cracking? Darren McDuffie here, alias the Fat Man, because I help you become perfectly healthy and toned. This video is being brought to you by I'mTheFhatMan.com. Today, we're talking about essential oils, not aluminum foils, as I said in the pre-intro, but essential oils. Before I get into talking a little bit about essential oils, I wanted to talk a little bit about my background, just simply because those of you who may be viewing a video for the first time, you may not know that I was part of the dark side. Yes, I was Darth Vader. I spent some time in the pharmaceutical industry, and part of my product line was selling antibiotics. Now, you may not know why I'm discussing antibiotics, but it'll make sense in a while when we start to talk and get more into essential oils. But again, part of my product line consisted of selling antibiotics. So I had to know everything about my antibiotic as well as the competitor's antibiotics. So I would be able to go into the doctor and carry a conversation with him, very intelligent conversation, about why they should be using my antibiotic over the competitor's antibiotics. I quickly began to notice that there are a class of antibiotics, and I happen to sell this particular class called fluoroquinolones. Now, when you look at the name fluoroquinolone, and let's just deal with flora for right now, you will notice that fluora is equivalent of fluoride. So that means that they're using fluoride as a delivery mechanism to get the antibiotic into the body. If you've taken a look at my video on the blood-brain barrier, you also know that fluoride is one of those substances that crosses over the blood-brain barrier and has the propensity to affect the brain. So right there, that should tell you something's not right. So you want to stay away from this class of antibiotics. There are a lot of lawsuits going on. Just saw something very recently which kind of prompted me to do this video on ciprofloxacin, and I'm very familiar with that antibiotic because I used to sell against that antibiotic. And then you have a lot of lawsuits. Lawsuits have been going on since 2012 with Levaquin, which is another fluoroquinolone. And again, you want to kind of stay away from them. So you're starting to see the side effects of all of these antibiotics. So what can you use holistically that might help you get rid of a bacterial infection, but not put you at risk for a lot of side effects? Something I wanted to talk about before we get into the EO or the essential oils is resistance. A lot of pharmaceutical antibiotics are starting to show resistance. They were showing resistance 10 years ago when I was in the industry, and what that means is that pretty soon they won't have any antibiotics, pharmaceutical antibiotics rather, for people to use that will fight infections just because the bacteria are adapting to them. We're using a lot of antibiotics. Doctors tend to give them out like candy. So therefore, when they're not needed and you're still taking them, the body adapts to them, the bacteria adapt to them, and then when they are needed, they're just simply not effective. There have been a lot of antibiotics used in our livestock, so we're always eating when we eat meat or eat products, meat products, the antibiotics have been used in the animals, so your body is ingesting that, and again, the bacteria are adapting to that. So there's a lot of resistance out there, and pretty soon there will not be anything for us to use just simply because the bacteria adapt so quickly to the fluoroquinolones or a class of antibiotics. And you can see this a lot of times if you go into your grocery store and your grocery store has a pharmacy. I know here, I live right around the corner from a grocery store and they have a pharmacy, and they're constantly giving away antibiotics, and that's simply because they don't work. If you know anything about the pharmaceutical industry, they're about profit. They're not going to give anything away. So that should give you a heads up or clue you in that something is wrong. Now, getting back to essential oils have antibacterial properties, and they've done studies on essential oils where they've noted that essential oils are good or better in some cases than pharmaceutical antibiotics, and they don't tend to show the resistance that the pharmaceutical antibiotics show. And these things are all natural. They're not going to harm your body, and there's not any real side effects to them. So today, I want to talk to you, give you a little primer on how to use essential oils. The way that you deliver essential oils into the body, there's several different ways. One of the ways that I really like to do it is just take a little drop of essential oil here. Got one thing here. And then what I'll do is just open this and just put 1 or 2 drops in your hand. And all you do is just rub the essential oils together, just spread it out in your hand. And one of the prime delivery mechanisms is just rubbing it over your ears. The ears get things into the body effectively, especially your earlobes. And I use this with these blends. I actually use this with lavender when I'm ready to relax and I have a hard time relaxing. What I'll do is just take 2 to 3 drops of the lavender oil, and then I'll just rub it on my ears because it gets into the body really well. You have to know that anything that you put in your skin is absorbed into your bloodstream, and the ears happen to be one of those really good delivery mechanisms that you can use as well. Another one is feet. So your feet happen to be one of those things that will get the oil into your system really quickly as well. So all you again have to do is put 1 or 2 drops into your hand, rub them together, and just rub your feet really good. Also a really good way to get magnesium into the body as well. I have some magnesium that I have in a pump, and I will do the same way and rub that on my feet to get it into my body. But your ears and your feet are just prime delivery mechanisms to get the essential oil into your system. Another thing is, I'm going to be reaching for some stuff here, but another thing is a diffuser. If you have a diffuser, this little thing right here, what it does is you can push it out. You put a couple of drops of oil in this, and then you close it, and then you just hit the little thing. You probably could hear it. I'm going to put it there so you can hear it. But you can hear it as it goes, and this will diffuse into the room, and you can pretty much run it all day. I think this runs on a little battery here, and you can get a diffuser and diffuse it into the house, just if you want to do peppermint oil just to make the house smell good or lift your mood. If you particular people in the house are sick, you can put thieves blend in here and diffuse it within the house as well, just to kill germs there. Another way is through just one of these little pumps. You can get something like this from a drugstore, and you're going to fill it a little bit with water here, and then you're going to put a couple of drops of essential oil in here, and you can just spray it. This is one like a bedtime spray. If you have a problem relaxing, you can put lavender in here or any of those other relaxing essential oils, and then you just spray it on your pillow, and it just helps you relax when you go to bed at night. You can also buy the one with the lever on it to spray it as well. And I know a lot of you out there who are watching the video might be part of that office environment where people are constantly getting sick. I know when I used to be in a corporate environment, it was if one person would get sick, and then it would be like a domino effect. Everybody would get sick. So you can just use this, put you some thieves blend in there or any other antibacterial essential oil that you like, and just spray it on your keyboard or spray it on your phone. If people are using your phone, you have to have a desk phone at work, and you can kill germs that way. You don't have to go in and use something like Lysol, which is full of chemicals. You're just using something that's natural as well. The last way I wanted to discuss with you is just use a carrier oil. A carrier oil can be something like a coconut oil. It can be something like a jojoba oil, olive oil, and what you can do is just put the oil in your hand, put a few drops of the essential oil in there, and then rub your hands together. And let's say you have a sore throat, you can use the thieves blend with that, with the coconut oil, and just rub it on your throat. Just rub it on your throat and get that essential oil, get those properties into that sore throat, and you can start alleviating that sore throat. If you have a headache, there are some oils out there that are very good for headaches. Lavender is good. Peppermint oil, believe it or not, is very good for a headache. And you can use it, again, by just putting a few drops in your hand. If you prefer to use that carrier oil, you can use the carrier oil as well. And just, if you have that headache, just rub it on your, rub it on your temples. Rub it on your temples. If you have a cold and you have a stuffy nose, peppermint oil, again, you could probably take that peppermint oil, put it in the coconut oil, and just put it under there. I remember when I was a kid, my mom would give us that. We would use mentholatum, I think it's called. But you can use something like a eucalyptus oil, and you can put it within the coconut oil and just put it up under your nose and it'll relieve that stuffy nose. And all of this stuff is pretty natural. It's pretty holistic, and there's no side effects to that. And that's it for essential oil. So if you know someone who's been using essential oil for years, or if you yourself are new to essential oils, I'd love to hear your comments on some ways that you use essential oils to combat some of the illnesses, to combat some of the colds or the things that are going around this season. So this has been Darren McDuffie, alias the Fat Man, who helps you become perfectly healthy and toned, and I'll see you next video.